Okay, welcome to Iyun, Mishna Yomi. We're dealing here Misachas Kilayim Perek Hey Mishna Vav. Mishna says, "Aro Yer Pikar Ma'amrak Shagilo Alaktenu Mutter." He is passing through his vineyard. He's checking his vineyard, and he sees there's a vegetable planted in front of him. He's on his way to go there. So he said, he doesn't have to run over to get it, to take out the yerek. He could go ahead, and he could wait till he gets there, and he plans to get there, and he takes it out. Everything would be fine, even if it grew 1/200th, which would make it us, or even it grew, it wouldn't be a problem. Let's say he says, when I come back home, he already passed, presumably it means that he passed by, he saw there was a yerek. He was miyayish, like the Bible says. He gave up hope, and then he says, you know what? When I go back to my house, on my way back to my house, I'll take out the yerek. So then, impulsive masayim also, if it grew 1/200th, by the time he gets back, it was considered a growth, because normally kilayim is batal, echad masayim 1/200th. If it grow 1/200th, that means there is kilayim between your vegetables and your vineyard, and therefore it would be mekadesh, the yerek, and the kila, and the 45 vines around it. So, what's the explanation of the Mishnah? So, Ravad Tanura says the difference is that the Reisha, he's not miyayish. He's on his way to get there. He plans on getting there. He's just busy right now. Seifa, he already saw it. He's miyayish. He gave up hope, and then he decides, changes his mind. He says, no, I'll take it when I get back home. He's miyayish. He gives up hope. That would be enough to mechayev him. Tosos Yontav brings from a Tosos in Basra, which quotes his Gemara. He says, it can't learn that the pasuk goes, Sizra Karmachal Kilayim Dumya Dezriya the Nichole. Kilayim, the Isra of Kilayim, planting Kilayim, it has to be Nichole, it has to be that you want it. So, if you already passed by and you show that you wanted it, and then you decide, you change your mind and say, I don't want it, you already showed you wanted it already, that's enough to mechayev you. Now, the problem over here is that we're talking about Mekayim Kilayim, that's the Isra over here, right? The Yerek, you didn't plant the Yerek happened to fall in there by itself. See in the next mission, the Mishnah Zion, it fell there by itself. You didn't intend to plant it there, so it's not Zriya over here. It's a little hard to understand what Toz is saying about Basra, that it's Zriya. It's not really Zriya. It's the Yerek happened to be by itself. A bird brought it. It was a mistake that it was there. So therefore, you weren't planted it. Presumably, I would assume this Mishnah is talking about the Isra of Mekayim Kilayim Bekarim. You can't be Mekayim a Yerek in your vineyard. Can't keep it there. This is a Gemara. I'll transfer over to the Gemara in Makos and the Chaf Aleph from a Beis over here. The Gemara quotes an opinion of Rabbi Akiva. The Gemara says, the Brisa says, the Sanya, Laman Chaf Aleph from a Beis towards the bottom, in Makos, Menachesh Machape B'Kilayim Lokia. Let's say you cover over your Kilayim with more dirt. Yeah, Makos. Akiva Omer Ach Makayim. Even just keep Kilayim, you're chayev. You can malchus. My time with Rabbi Akiva. The Sanya South Chalos Israel Kilayim Eli El Zareya. Pasuk in Kedoshim says, not like the pasuk. It tells him Basra quotes from Dvarim. He's quoting, this pasuk is from Vayikra. South Chalos Israel Kilayim Eli El Zareya Mekayim Minai. How do you know that you keep Kilayim? Tamal Omar. Now there's parentheses. Behem Techalos Serbia is in parentheses, and it says Kilayim South Chalo. And then it says Tizra Kilayim. So what's exactly the drasha over here? So the seeming explanation without seeing Rashi, I would have said like this. It says it says Zriya specifically. How do you know Mekayim also? So let's take out the parentheses. Kilayim Tzad Chalo. I would have explained it to mean that as opposed to the pasuk in Dvarim, which says Lo Sizra Karma Kilayim, it's talking about the Maisa of Zriya. Here it's talking about Tzadcha Lo Sizra Kilayim. The noun, the main focus of the pasuk is going on the field. And it's going on the field. That means the Isser is not on the Maisa Zriya. The Isser is on owning a field where there's Kilayim. That's what I was saying. And that's the Kilayim Zad Chalo. That's that even your field, it's an Isser on the field. Now, how are you over on the field? By owning the field, right? If you own Chametz on Pesach, right? Even though some Rishonim say you have to actually buy Chametz on Pesach in order to get Malchus for Bal Yiram, Bal Yimatze. And some Rishonim say, I think the Chinuch says, that even by owning it, you're over, and there's how could you get Malchus over there on the fact that you own something also could be enough to Mechayev Malchus. Be considered the fact that you have possession of that land, that's considered Lav Sheish B'Maisa. So, or since it's normally done through Lav Sheish B'Maisa, that would be in the rubric of Lav Sheish B'Maisa. Also here, normally Kilayim is done through the Maisa. So therefore, owning something also as the Chesed Rabbi Akiva is also like a Maisa, you Mechayev for Kilayim, and that's what the pasuk would be saying. I would venture to say that Tosas in Basra and Raja Bartanura on the Mishnah, and also Rashi here in Mesachas Makos, he says, He doesn't take out the parentheses. We take out the parentheses. Normally we don't read parentheses, but Rashi doesn't take it out. He reads it's because of the pasuk says before. It says Because it said lo sarbia. Why did it put the extra word kilayim next to sadcha? Therefore, it says the word kilayim to sadcha twice. So there's two words of kilayim next to your sadas. Therefore, one's a drasha for the Zriya, and one's a drasha for the Mekayim. So therefore, you learn Rekiv Menuchayev even on the Mekayim. I would say Rashi is learning like Tozim Basra and like Tanura that it's totally in. It's a drasha, so it's an extra drasha. Whenever it's mufna, we have an extra word. So therefore, the Iker pasuk is talking about like the pasuk says, don't plant. And the second pasuk is talking about Mekayim, but it's not really related to the first pasuk. It's just an Israel of Mekayim, and so therefore, what is it based on? It's not based on the fact that the noun comes before the verb sadcha. It's not owning the estate. It's also just being Mekayim, the act of being Mekayim. So then, how could it be Malchus? It must say like Tosas and Babasa. It's Nichalei, that it's Nichalei. You have das for it, or you're Miyayish or not Miyayish with your das, and therefore you Mekayim the Malchus on your das. The fact that you like it and you keep it there, that's almost like you actually planted it. A little more of a stretch to say you're chayiv from Malchus in that case, but that would be the explanation over here, presumably. Hope you enjoyed. Bye.